Good morning, Ricky here from North Carolina, coming at you with another video. I guess today is record day. I'm going to show you records of the day. I've got a couple records to show you. I like import records, meaning records from other countries. And a lot of people that collect records do. People overseas like to collect United States records, and we like to collect foreign records. And there's records from all kinds of countries. A lot of countries, some of the countries I've never heard of. But anyway, I've got a couple today I wanted to show you, and get right to it. The first one is probably, I would say, Creedence Clearwater Revival, call them CCR. I would say their best record maybe. And if you're familiar with this, the CD or the cassette or the 8-track or whatever, especially their album, if you got this album or are familiar with it back in the day, you're familiar with the Blue Fantasy label that CCR come out with back in the 70s, late 60s, early 70s. This particular record come out in 1970, Cosmos Factory. It's a great one. The different thing about this one is you're going to see is it come out on the Liberty, let me see, make sure I'm right. Yeah, Liberty label. Liberty label. Make sure you can see that. I know you can't see all the fine print, but Liberty label. Liberty. Looks a lot different, don't it, if you're used to the Blue Fantasy. And back of it's got a little water staining on it. That's okay. I don't know if you can see the bottom there. Can you read the bottom? Probably not. Anyway, this record happens to be from Dum Dum, India. You got it. D-U-M, D-U-M, Dum Dum, India. That's where this record come from. And it plays great. It's an official release, so you can look it up on Discogs. And a lot of people, you know, the unofficial releases, the bootlegs you get into, people say they sound bad. Some of them do, some of them don't. Most of them sound not up to par, but these are official releases, and this one sounds good. And yeah, Dum Dum, India. And it's hard to run across if you're looking at a antique store or a record store, or unless they have this on the wall or something coming out special. It's hard to find an import just looking around at your average Joe place, unless you order one. And if you go online to order one, you know, it could take forever to get it. I found this at a record store, I believe. And guy knew I like import records and had it for me. Didn't pay a lot for it, and I'll tell you about the ending at the end there, what I think these will go for. There's that one. CCR Cosmos Factory. The next record, a lot of people would say, you know, which like 5 records would you have if you were marooned on a desert island? And there's so many great records. I mean, you know, you could, the list could go on. You could have a whole trailer full. But I guess if you narrow it down to 5 or 10, this one would probably be on my list. This is a great record. I love it. And if you're used to this record, you could, the original in the United States come on the Decca label. I think the later represses was MCA, kind of like the MCA Rain. I think they call it the MCA Rainbow label, but the original is on the Decca. This come out in 1971, and I'm talking about the famous Who's Next. I'm getting a little sun there from my blinds. Sorry about that. I opened them up, it was cloudy, now the sun wants to come out. Anyway, Who's Next? And great album. I love this album. I've got the original US copy. I think I've got a MCA copy. And this one you can see is on the Polydor label. And that's kind of odd, and you'll say, Ricky, where in the world did that come from? Well, you can't tell by looking at it. But this happens to come from Scandinavia. Yeah, this is a Scandinavian import pressing. And I found this at an antique mall. The lady's got a record store there. She got a lot. She prices them real high, and this one was priced real low for some reason, and I grabbed it. I buy a few records from her, and I've had this a couple years, and I grabbed it real quick. I love it. Scandinavian. You can see the imprints there on the wall. Concrete thing there. And love this record. And Scandinavian pressing. And again, you just aren't gonna come across this in usually at an antique mall or a thrift store. You go to a thrift store or Goodwill, you want to find US copies normally. No, there's just some exceptions to the rule, but normally you're gonna find US copies. You're not gonna find an import from another country. So now you're going to say, well, what do they go for? Okay, that's kind of tricky. And you can get skewed values sometime on Discogs, and one of these is skewed, I think, and it's Cosmos Factory in the Dum India country. And actually they got, I think they're 16 maybe, starting at $8. And the median value is like $2 and something. And I skewed up. I think they had a bunch of records sold maybe with no cover, just a record or something. And it made it real low, $2 and something. When I started looking at the ones for sale, they're mainly, when you get to the BG Plus, good playing record and a good cover, BG meaning a good cover, you're looking at $30, $30, $40, probably around $30 maybe. So I would say if you could find one from India in a good playing record with a good cover, you're going to pay around $30 maybe. Not too bad. And the Who's Next, I would say, I think the median value is 15. And so could that be accurate? Yeah, maybe, or a little more. Now again, I was looking at the ones for sale and they go a little higher. So 15 to 30 in that range, to get a good playing copy with a good cover that's not been taped up, or cat maybe got to clawing on the corner and chewing a little bit on it. But I would say 15 to 30. And maybe 15 to 30 for the Cosmos Factory, somewhere in there. Not real expensive. So you would think import records from other countries are expensive, and that's not always the case. Now you get into the Beatles records over there, and England and Germany and Japan, stuff like that. You're going to pay more for them now. Japanese pressings overall usually are more, because their sound is more quality, mainly than the U.S. They have great sounding quality in Japan, the Japanese pressing. So anyway, thought I'd show you those two records for the day. And I have quite a few imports over the years. I've sold some, I don't know, might not have a whole lot, but got a lot of jazz records I want to show you. And I made a trade what's today? Friday. Made a trade Wednesday, traded a few records for a good couple records that I wanted. And I'll be showing you those. And actually I had one of the records, but it was a different pressing, it was original. And I got one that'll step up, and in price it was a step down, if that makes any sense. And but it's an excellent, very good plus playing record. Don't have any noise or anything on it, so still not a cheap record, but I'm happy with it. So I'll be showing you guys that in the coming days. I still got a lot of records, and I've thinned out my records to the point where I'm probably done with selling my records at the new joint in town. And I'll tell you a story about that place later on. And it's kind of comical, really. But as always, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and hope you guys have a great day.